This thing is making me crazy. All right, welcome to Dodson'S Racing Insider News with Adam Wellbrock. That sounds better than those guys. I got to give it to you. That's a lot better. Anyway, Scott's not with us tonight. We benefit highly from the fact that he's not here. Could be a lot worse. He could be here. He still can't get things right when he is here. All right, let's talk about our sponsors for the show. GAC, Great American Companies, and Guillermo Amaya. I want to thank him. He's been with us just about since we got started, and he is a big factor in what we do. Papa John's Pizza. Got Papa John's every week. Appreciate them doing that. BA811.com. They came on a few years ago. We're happy to have them aboard and appreciate everything they do. Factory Canopies, Fluid Logic, and they got a new thing coming out now called Airlock. And we're going to have Todd and Austin McCurdy and all of them from down in Mooresville, and they're going to talk about the new things they've got going on and on everything that they have there. Slinger Speed, Tim Brown, appreciate Tim and everything he does for us. Black Acid Racing Apparel. MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister. Appreciate Tanya. She's going to be involved with something we got coming up, and I'm going to make an announcement in a few minutes about it. Bondurant Brothers Distillery. Robert Bondurant, who's a good friend of mine. I appreciate him being involved with our show. Like Scott says every week, someday I'm going to go down there and bring some stuff back. I hadn't done it yet. So anyway. Langley Speedway. Want to thank Chuck and Bill and the boss, Terry Beluzzo, for letting us come here and do the show here. It's a lot of fun, and we appreciate their helping us out. Turn 2 Synthetics, Hunter Waltrip. Have you seen any of his things he's been doing the last couple of days? He's been down at Southern National. It's kind of funny to watch what he does. Waltrip Power Wash Solutions. So I think he was trying to drum up business while he was down there too.
Not a bad idea.
Anyway, Pepsi, our drink of choice, are on the show here. We appreciate their help. Robert Rummels and Mosquito Joe. If you want Mosquito Joe to come treat your yard or whatever, if you use Langley Speedway or Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News, you get 50% off on your first treatment. So please give them a call. Southampton Motor Speedway. The drift track down at Southampton Motor Speedway, they've got a lot going on. I understand they're going to have the two-way drags or whatever down there. Circle drag. That's it. Yeah. Circle drag. They're going to have that this coming weekend or next weekend one. And I haven't been back down there since the initial night they opened, and I don't know nothing about drifting. I couldn't tell you what they were doing. They were telling me about how you score points in drifting. Well, I don't understand it. But anyway, Gator Graphics. I want to thank Sammy he's done a lot of stuff for me and Scott. Appreciate him being there. Mean Dean's Automotive and Grier and Associates from down at.
We'll get you said it 1 week.
Moyock.
There you go.
Moyock, North Carolina. So they'll go see them, and they've got a big car show coming up on November the 9th at Mean Dean's, his 4th annual car show, from 9 a.m. to 12 at his shop there. It's going to be, he's got all kinds of different types of cars coming and everything. So if you have nothing to do on November the 9th, go down and see that. That's pretty good. RDS, Robert Skinnell, Nine Toes Skinnell. Been winning a lot of races with Aiden Millette. Won another one down this weekend down at Southern National.
So, they did, man.
That's a pretty good deal down there.
Keep winning next year.
S&N Communications. I want to thank S&N Communications for being involved with us. They came on board this year, and they've helped us out with some stuff down in Charlotte when we were down there. So we appreciate that. Fast Eddie's Barbecue. We still not have gotten barbecue. It's been a little while now.
And he's in the chat, man.
Right.
First one in the chat.
He's always first one in the chat, but I'm going to be first one with the barbecue. So anyway, all right, and another big thing coming up on the December the 3rd at the Charles Mack Citizen Center in Mooresville, North Carolina. They're having the annual Stocks for Tots program. And please come down. You're going to, I mean, I understand that there's going to be like 110 or so former drivers, Hall of Famers, everybody there signing autographs. So come down and be a part of that. That's going to be huge. I'll be there.
Jack made the list.
I made the list. I'm signing autographs too, and don't why, but I'm signing autographs down there at the show. So that'd be a lot of fun to do too. So please come down for that. All right, this weekend was the big weekend in racing. I'll come back to the Cup Series in a few minutes. So let's go with the Xfinity Series. Eric Almirola got the win in the Xfinity Series. And the final four, Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, A.J. Allmendinger, and Austin Hill. So that's going to be a pretty good foursome there in that group right there. If I had to pick a pick, I think it's Allgaier's turn. I think he's due for one this time, so I think it'll be a good one. In the truck race, Christian Eckes got the win in the truck race. That moves him into the final four. Eckes, Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, and Ty Majeski all make the final four. In the Cup Series, Ryan Blaney got the win. So the final four in the Cup Series are Blaney, Reddick, Logano, and Byron. Now, anybody who watched this race knows what happened at the end of this race. Christopher Bell got penalized for running the wall, even though he got shoved to the wall. I mean, but then he did gas it up and stay to the wall the rest of the way around there. So I can understand him that being like that. Then you had Willie Byron. Willie B. He's running, I think he was running like sixth or seventh at the time. And all that radio traffic back and forth.
Isn't that something, huh?
I mean, why would you even put it on the radio that you're going to do this?
That's the same spotter that got suspended after Richmond.
Yeah.
On Austin's team.
So, I mean, why would you even sit there and do that and know everybody's listening? And then all of a sudden, Bubba Wallace says he has a tire going down. So he gets on the high side.
He had me convinced.
He had me convinced.
That he had a tire going down.
And then Chastain and Austin Hill lined up right side by side. All three of them lined up across the track. And they were blocking everybody from behind trying to get there. And Joey Logano made the statement today. I heard him today make the statement. Had he not been in the playoffs, he'd have pile drive somebody out of there.
I don't blame him.
So, anyway, so all said and done, NASCAR came out today with their penalties for everything that happened up there. Elton Sawyer said, the integrity of the race was in question because of what happened. And, it was a good race. I watched it. It was a great race.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably the best race I've seen in those cars at Martinsville in a long time. Yeah. And those guys were doing a great job. But then to do what they did at the end of this race, of course, I know everybody's going to say, well, you don't know what you're talking about or whatever. Why in the world would they line up and block for him? I mean, I understand, but, that's circumventing the system.
Yeah, there's not much in it for
them. I mean, none of them are going to get anything. As a matter of fact, they lose in this deal. They lose in the deal. They're not gaining anything. So for the NASCAR penalties, the 1 car, the 3 car, and the 23 car all lost their crew chiefs, all lost their spotters, and a team executive. They're all suspended for Phoenix, but they're all appealing. So they can be this week at Phoenix, but I heard on the way down here tonight that NASCAR is going to expedite the procedure because it could mean something in the points and stuff or whatever. So they're going to try to have the hearing before they get to Phoenix or after they get to Phoenix. So whatever. I mean, you know, to me, it was just wild. In the Xfinity race, after the race was over with, Chandler Smith had a little problem with Cole Custer.
Yeah.
And he walked over and slapped him, and it cost him $10,000. But he'd have been better off just missing the media day thing the day before, because I mean, he's better slapping him than going to the media day. I mean, you miss the media day, you get fined $12,000
in the lower series.
So you can hit somebody. I don't, you know, that's NASCAR. I can't. I mean, you know, they rule the roost. All right, Garrett Zacharias. They had a big race down in Caraway this weekend. And Garrett Zacharias came from New York to run in this. He's a friend of ours. He's going to be on the show tonight. He finished third in that race. I mean, he dodged about 20 wrecks to get to third. So that was a good race for him. Down at Speedway, the late model winner was Heath Causey. Limited late model winner was Lane Woods. And the modified, the veteran Todd Massey won again. At Southern National, in the Virginia Racers, Aiden Millett won again. In the Stars National Tour down at Nashville, Jake Garcia got the late model win, and Casey Roderick, another one of my buddies, got the championship in the Stars National Tour. Congratulations to Casey and all his people. They worked hard to get that win this week. Championship. Down at Newport Speedway, they opened Newport back up. It's been closed for a while, so they had some cars come. They had a big race down there. Did not get a running order out of all of them, but my buddy Kevin Canner won the Mod 4 race down there and completely dominated. So this year, he's won every race he's been in except 3. So, and that's at 3 different tracks. So he's got it going on. He knows how to drive them modified 4s. All right, Connor Hall is going to be at Hickory for the Fall Brawl coming up this weekend. And he's going to be in Junior's car down there. So that's going to be interesting to see. The 22 car will have their new driver in it this week too. So that's a pretty good deal. The Cars Tour sent their schedule out this week. And Langley Speedway will have the Cars Tour on May the 31st. So that's gonna be a big race. You'll have to be here for that.
I've already got it on my calendar. I'm not gonna miss it.
And my buddy Aiden Zedrich, you know Aiden.
Bando driver.
Yeah, Bando driver. He won a very prestigious award at the Wake County Banquet. He was I forget what they call it. He was the Sportsman of the Year down at, and he is the youngest driver to ever get the Sportsman of the Year. They had a great big, it's on my Facebook page, great big video thing to him and everything he's got going on with his racing. He will no longer be running modifieds anymore. I mean, bandos anymore. So he's getting into doing something else, and hopefully we can work in and see what all he's got going on soon.
Yeah.
And we also want to announce the Miles of Seamless Gutters driver sponsorship thing that we've got going on here at Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News. This year, it's going to be one driver is going to get it, and that driver will receive $5,000. He will receive a custom driving suit, and they will get the custom driving suit when they're supposed to get it. Did I say that nicely enough? I thought about saying something else, but I didn't. And they will receive 4 chairs for their pit area from Factory Canopies. And we're working on some other stuff to go along with it. So it'll be very beneficial to somebody. So please put in for it. It'll be great to have. and it may help. $5,000 to a race car driver here is big, and that's huge for them. All you have to do is send a video to me and Scott, and then also place it on your Facebook page or social media site, whatever you got there. You need to place it on that. Plus, send it to me and Scott. Then Scott and I will not make the decision. We're not making any decisions on who gets it. We're going to give it to Miles of Seamless Gutters. The employees at Miles of Seamless Gutters are going to review all the videos, and they're going to make their decision like they did last year. But this year it'll be for one. So please do that. And can't wait to see who all. We've already got a couple. So see who all can get it. So $5,000 is a big deal, and whatever else that comes along. We've had a lot of people ask us they would like to throw something in too. So we might be even bigger than that. So anyway, all right. I said hello, Eddie Clark. I see Eddie Clark's on here.
Gene Nichols says they're having a swap meet December 7th here.
Well,
check into that.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of the other thing we were talking about earlier.
Next week. Tune in next week.
Tune in next week. We'll have all the details.
Yes.
For that. So tune in on that next week. All right. Well, that's all the news and everything we've got going on. So please put in for that sponsorship thing. Really a big deal that Miles of Seamless Gutters has put the money up and basically put the driving suit up. They're going to do both of them. So that's huge to get a custom driving suit. Even Wesley here might want one of them.
And 5 big ones.
Yeah, 5 big ones. I wouldn't mind the 5 big ones. They can keep the suit. But anyway.
Gotta be active driver.
Yeah, gotta be something there. So anyway, I'm supposed to have somebody on here now. But he's not called in here yet. Let me see what happened to him.
Hope everybody's having a good week. We missed being at the track already.
If you haven't voted, it's too late.
That's what I told Wes. Man, 5 months off, 6 months off.
Yeah. Schedule's coming up soon. Don't worry, guys.
Is it?
Cars Crew's got theirs out. NASCAR's got theirs. We're next.
Cool.
Sobo's got theirs out too, I think. So ours is around the corner.
It helps out, when you're looking for sponsors that we used to tell them the race.
Yeah.
Races.
Year 75.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
big year, hopefully.
They got some things up there, sweetie. Yep. Big year.
Anyway, Jake Finch is supposed to be coming on, but we're gonna get Wesley in here until Jake shows up. So that's probably him there now. Nope, that's not him. Come on in here, Wesley. Yeah, don't get on your phone here. That's not nice to be talking on the phone. Tell your girlfriend to call back later.
She don't ride on the road.
I understand she likes racing and he's helped you design your car and stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, how did your year go? Tell us all about your year in 2024.
My year started off pretty good in the super streets. We would have our ups and downs. We feel like we couldn't get fast anytime. When we get fast, we would lose it the next week. So then we went to trucks for the last 3 or 4 remaining races, and finished second, fourth, and fourth. So I think in 2025 we're gonna go back to the trucks and see what we can do back in the trucks next year.
So you got a new truck. How many times did you race it this year?
I raced it 3 times.
3 times, man. Second, fourth, and fourth. We're listening. One ear and out the other, man.
You know what? One thing I thought Scott was gone.
Somebody's got it.
He's got
Oh, Scott was gone, and here comes Adam trying to take his place. Okay, so you ran it 3 times. So how did you enjoy your new truck, and how did it do for you?
I enjoyed it pretty well. We were up in the top 5. Felt good to be up front for once, not way dead last. So the truck handled very good for us. It actually did what I wanted it to. We had a little bit of problems, but we overcame them and got back and finished up what we needed to.
So, we know you bought the truck from Gary Osborne, and it's one of Hunter Waltrip's trucks, but you bought it from Gary Osborne. I mean, did you have to get all the bad stuff out of it when Gary had it? I mean, you got it, and when Gary had all the bad stuff that happened to it and everything, did you get all that out of there?
Hopefully. Yeah, it was definitely wasn't right from what I liked how to drive it. So we went back to we tried our Super Street tire pressures on it, and it worked a lot better than what it was, but it still wasn't the right tire pressures. So we went to ask around and see what everybody else was running, and it worked a lot better.
And look, that's what you want to do. You want it to get better as time goes on.
Yep.
So over the winter, we were discussing it earlier. What all you got planned to work on to get it going next year?
Just basically body, just redoing the body and stuff like that, trying to find imperfections and make it better. There's a couple dents, so we want to make sure we have a clean and pretty truck. I mean, it might not be pretty next year while racing, but want to make sure it's pretty for the first race,
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to make it look good when you go out there. You gotta, you fake it till you make it, and make it look good and everything.
Yep, until it doesn't no more.
That's right.
Yep.
That's what I used to do. I used to command my car was clean, everything. I mean, that was perfection. People come over and start looking at my car. What in the world?
Yep.
So then I started doing crazy stuff and covering the wheels. I've got the things from Summit where you cover the wheels like the drag cars did.
Oh yeah.
I just come over and put them on the car and covered all four wheels. Next thing I know, I'm seeing people over here trying to get their fingers under to see what's underneath it. And I won't do anything but just play it. I mean,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, fun. You
gotta play games sometimes.
How many years you been racing?
Next year will be 11 years. I've been racing in the Bando. Oh, I started in arena cars.
You run arena cars?
I didn't really run them. I was practicing them,
Oh,
like practicing at different tracks and stuff. Then we went full-time bando racing, and so been racing for 11 years next year.
wow. You've been
Here,
it's
hard.
hard.
South side.
It's hard to change diapers when you're in there riding like that,
Sometimes. Sometimes.
I mean, you've been racing that long. You ain't that old.
Nope.
So I mean, that's hard to do. But you didn't. You said you were messing with the arena cars. You didn't go up there and mess around arena cars when Scott was around it.
That's where my brain went.
No,
to.
but we watched them.
Yeah, we did watch Scott tear off some bodies at the arena racing.
We watched Scott that one time where he turned going around the track backward to hit
Was Jack? Hit bed all we was there that night.
Yeah,
I was there that night too.
I thought it was funny.
that was a mess.
I mean, he told he was on the radio. He said he is not going to win the championship. That's not going to happen. And then he got the car turned around, was going back the other way. I said, "Oh boy, this ain't going to be good." And his crew chief was hollering at him, "Stop, don't stop." Scott didn't hear none of that. I don't think he just kept right on going.
Unplugged it.
Yeah,
So anyway, he got by with it. So that's
all that matters.
So did you like the arena cars? I mean, I've heard so many different things about them.
They're definitely small. I mean, you're basically laying back in them, and your knees are hitting the crossbar. So it's not a very comfortable place to be, but they're definitely fun to drive. A lot of to drive,
And they're super fast.
Very fast.
Like at Richmond and here in Hampton, them guys were flat inside the Coliseum.
Yep.
So that's pretty good deal. So what are your plans for next year? Tell us all about next year. What you got? You gonna do the truck? Is it just gonna be here? Or you gonna do some other racing and around or somewhere?
No, we were planning on going to the Thanksgiving Classic this year, but our funds didn't make it happen this year. So next year we're just gonna run here full time, and maybe after Langley, stuff like that, we might run some out of town races, but mostly Langley next year again.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Try to hopefully run for a championship, but I know there's fast trucks out there, so I'm not gonna put that to my name. So, but I know I can do it though. So it's gonna be fun next year.
And so you'll have a good time. And you got a good truck there because Hunter did pretty good in that truck.
So
When he could keep the bugs out of it, every now and then he had a little problem. But
gotta overcome it. So you can do.
so what's it like in that truck series? I mean, you only run the 3 races, so you got the C.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like in the truck series now? They got some guys in there that are heavy hitters. Ain't no doubt about it.
I mean, it's definitely scarier knowing that you're up in the mix, especially for me. I'm not normally up in the mix, up in the where the fast guys are. So it's definitely breathtaking. I don't know if that's the word I should be using, but it's definitely different and stuff like that. But I just love running up front with the heavy hitters and being good around all the good people,
Well, at least you got one break. Rick Powell's he got sent out on deployment, so
That's-
him and his cheating motor he's got in his truck.
Big motor.
That big motor he's got in his truck. You ain't got to worry about him for a little while. But that's kind of cool that But I love watching the trucks race.
yeah, they're definitely a lot of fun.
I used to run the mini stocks at Southampton, and they kind of remind me of the mini stocks.
Yeah.
The way they race.
They're definitely a good side-by-side racing class.
I think they had the most winners this year. Trucks.
I'm not sure, but
I think
I- yeah, I think it was like 6 winners
Five
in
or
that
six
class.
winners.
Yeah,
we had Rick House won, McAfee won, Chase won,
Bill,
Alicia won,
Bill.
Bill and
won
Chris.
one, and Chris won 4.
So that's 6.
There's 10 races this year.
6 out of 10 races, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Up
so
there.
That's pretty cool. That's good. That's a good group of guys.
So hopefully I could be working Chris's. Be right with Chris next year. Run with Chris.
Just if you get close enough, just knock him out of the way and go on.
No, that's not that easy.
no.
So who all helps you with your truck and stuff?
My family, my dad, my girlfriend, Jarrett, their family, really everyone at the racetrack. I mean, everyone, we need help. Everyone comes over, helps us when we what was it? When we the ball joint came out from the spindle, we had so many people over there asking what's wrong, do we need parts? I mean, it was so much people over there asking if they could help and stuff like that. So people want me on the track. They want to race with me. I'm a clean everyone says I'm a clean driver, so hopefully I can continue that into next year and not be too aggressive, because in the super streets I was a little bit too aggressive. So the truck showed me my aggression level is
Well,
down.
when Rick Powell gets back, I want you to be really aggressive.
I will be till 2026 probably.
Yeah.
When he comes back, I want you to be really, really aggressive.
Okay.
He's gotten soft while he's been overseas and everything. You can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Now, who are your sponsors you got? So,
2025, I don't have none yet, but from this past season, I had Acropolis Construction, Native Earth Designs, and Royal Services. Had a couple sponsors.
Hopefully they'll come back.
Hopefully they all come back and we get more for 2025. Hopefully everyone's seen how I raced the last 3 truck races and gets me out there like some of these limited and late model sponsors, big time.
do you have any aspirations of going up and driving other?
I would like to, but I really like just having fun in the 4-cylinder class. I mean, they're so much more competitive. I mean, if I go anywhere, it'd probably be a U car, but I just love the 4-cylinders. They're just like a lot of fun, and like everything else, you gotta find every little detail and setup to go and
Well, I'm gonna tell your dad, put some money out there and get you a limited. I mean,
that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Tell Wesley to shut up and get his own.
oh, well, see, I opened that door and shouldn't have.
Yeah. So about that.
You get a job. You need to get one so you can run your own car.
Then I have 2.
What?
Your girlfriend's talking about she wants one now.
Oh, no.
What type does she want? Does she want to run in? She want to run a truck too?
No. No. I couldn't run against her.
You couldn't run against her? I gotta get to the bottom of this.
You opened up a can of worms.
I know. I said that. So why can't you run with her in the truck?
Because once
One day he's gonna have to use the bumper.
that, or if she gets mad at me, she'll probably dump me. Knowing her.
She would dump you?
She'll probably dump me.
Would you dump her?
100%. 100%.
So your relationship is not that strong. So
I mean, it is, but you know, for some money that we could use, you know,
okay.
it'd be.
Gary Kidder said you need to come to Grand Stop.
Man,
We tried.
I tried.
We was gonna put the Avery Street, but we didn't want to. He didn't want to run up against Amanda, you know, they're friends and everything. So
You know,
we
yeah.
stayed out of it. You know, like I said, you don't want to race. I mean, because they were close friends. You know, they're close friends. You know, you bump them. You don't want no one to get mad at you.
Hurt
Just
feelings,
stay
you know,
out
stuff
of
like
it.
that,
You know,
so.
it was.
Just try to keep it as clean as possible.
This is racing. This race, man. You know,
Yeah, but friendships are
See,
better.
like the guy said on TV the other day, you bring your friends with you. You know, when you get here, you ain't got nothing.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard that.
So, you know, and if you get your girlfriend out on the track, you know you got to knock her out of the way a couple times
A
anyway.
couple times, you know. Just a little bit.
But be prepared for it to come back haunt, you know. I mean,
Yep. Especially when you get home and stuff like that.
no,
Yeah,
she's
but just-
and the
she's
track.
She's watching this, so she's listening.
Oh, I know.
She's talk crap.
Aiden Zegers Racing. Hello, Aiden. Aiden will be with us next week on the show too. He's going to be here. I mean, not here. He's going to be on the show. But he got a great big. That's what I was telling you about. He got the big recognition down at Wake County, and that's a big deal. Congratulations, Aiden. You really deserve it.
Did his
And
peers vote on that, or was it?
It's I think the Trompers do.
That's pretty cool.
So that's but you know, Aiden's been through a lot and has persevered through a lot of stuff, and you know, he's not my kid, but I'm just as proud of him as probably his parents are. So that's a big deal to.
Do we have it back next year?
Well, now we don't know what's going to happen next year.
Oh.
Next year, you know, this was his last year in bandos, but he's got to move up to something next year. And he wants to. I don't know if he's going to move up or he's going to do something different. And I'm trying to get into NC State. So
That's a big deal.
that's
Yep.
And Gary Kidder says I need to come back on the show again. I can't remember. Was Gary one who gave me a hard time when he came on the show? He really ain't coming back.
Odds are he probably did. Chances are I'm gonna say
I mean,
yes.
Scott gives you a hard time too. So.
Well,
You still bring him back.
His name's on the logo.
Sure.
yeah, well, next year we'll have yours on there too. So
Be good to have Gary and Mike Parker on the show.
be cool. That'd be a cool deal.
Yeah.
Teammates to be on the show.
He
So-
just find his way back.
He'll find. I'm sure he may
Believe
find
it.
something. And I've asked him would he. Well, I asked his mom. I didn't ask him. I asked his mom would he like to be like a correspondent down at Wake County when they do races down there to let us know what's going on, call in and let us know. And we'll see how that works out too. But
Yeah.
you know, that's a great family. The Zeterses are great people, and I tell you what, when you get in this sport of racing, sometimes when you find somebody like the Zebraches and everybody, you know, that's a friendship that will last forever. So I'm proud to be a part of that. Anyway, well, I didn't say that about you, Wesley. I was talking about that.
Yeah.
I didn't. No, we were talking about Scott. What? Y'all can think we're friends.
Yeah.
But with friends like him, you don't need enemies. Scott's a trip. Now, I was the reason why I was asking you because, you know, when he was in them arena cars.
Oh, yeah.
I know he tore up some stuff in the arena cars.
Seems like he tore a body off almost every race.
Or something.
Something like that.
He broke some parts of them in every race. I'm sure of that.
Yep.
I'm sure of that. But I tried.
That was fun watching arena racing. I liked it.
It was pretty interesting. I mean, I did too, but it was a whole lot of griping that really got to me. It was a lot of griping going on. So anyway.
That's what's happening in trucks right now. People are breaking about the trucks right now. I ain't saying no names.
Okay, well,
I'm being nice.
you can whisper them to me later. I won't tell nobody.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Jack tell everybody.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna tell nobody.
I tell a few people, then they'll tell everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, you know, everybody wants to know why Scott and I want to start stuff with people. You know, we go out there and pick on people and say, hey, look, they said. So we're gonna find you somebody.
That's what you did at Rick's house, right?
Oh man, I gotta say,
Yeah.
me and Rick had it going on. Rick actually thought I didn't like him. But you know, I think the world of Rick and everything. I mean, he's serving the country, doing something for us, and so we can do what we do.
Yeah.
So that's really good. And yeah, I give him a hard time and everything. My grandson thinks he walks on water.
Really?
I ain't understood why, but he thinks he walks on water. But anyway, all right. But let's get Delaney on here, see what she's got to say, and then we'll come back to Wesley until Garrett comes on. Hello, Miss Laney. How are you?
Good, how are you?
We're doing great. Now, what are you up to tonight? I see you got out there in the shop working. What are you doing tonight?
Nothing much, really.
Oh, no. You're supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say you're not doing nothing much. Anyway, Delaney, give me some background on when you got started racing all the way up to where you are now, so everybody that's watching will know about you.
Yes, sir. So I started racing out when I was 8 years old in Bandoleros. Back when they had the little 5th mile at Charlotte Motor Speedway, we practiced on that a lot until we started at 8, so that was really good. And I started because my dad raced and we were watching races one day, and I was like, that looks really fun. So I decided I wanted to start racing, and then fast forward a few years, we started racing on Charlotte Motor Speedway about a couple times, and then on my first race there, there was a pile of water and in like the second groove, and I decided that I wanted to run the second groove for some reason. I hit that and I hit the wall, so that was not fun. I didn't get back in the car for a little bit because I was scared, but yeah, we did that for a little bit, and then decided to go try some speedway stuff and did really good on that for a couple years. And fast forward to now, we're bandits and have been running pretty good at Charlotte sometimes.
Now, you're supposed to be what, the Bando champion? What was that?
So as of right now, it's not official yet because we still have some more time. But as of right now, we have procured the NC State Bandit champion so far.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a great thing. And so what got you interested in racing? You said your dad was racing, but what really got you interested in it?
So I was really just sitting down watching TV, and I've seen a lot of people do it. And one of my friends actually started racing, so she really inspired me to start racing because she had done really good at tracks. So I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. So I really wanted to try.
So what are your aspirations with the sport? Are you looking to keep going in the sport and go up to other levels, or what is your aspirations?
I really would like to hopefully one day get into the Craftsman Truck series because I really like that series. It's really cool looking. But as of right now, we're running Bandoleros, and then maybe for 2025, we are going to do some big national Bandolero stuff and test an Allison Legacy car and maybe run a few races and test a Legend car.
So you're gonna be doing a lot of stuff.
Yes,
Are your aspirations of moving out of bandos into something else? Is that something you're looking at too, other than the legacy cars, but like a Legend or something like that? Have you looked into that?
Yes, sir. We've been running bandos for almost 5 years now, so we're really just trying to get a little bit more experience. I've won on blue plate stuff, so I have yet to win a open race, so we're really gonna try and get some experience on that and run that so we can hopefully get a race. And then before I move up to a big car, we just really want to win and get really good at the open series.
So how many races have you won?
So I've won probably 9 or 10 overall races, and I'm not quite sure how many bandit races. This year, I think we've won 20 bandit races.
Did you come? That's a lot of wins.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal. Did you come to Dominion and run up there at Dominion a couple weeks ago?
I did, yes, sir.
How'd you do up there?
So we went to the open practice that Friday, and we ran pretty good. So we expected to have a really good car on Saturday. We had a little bit of issues, couldn't get the car quite where we wanted it, so we made a change for qualifying, which actually put us in a qualifying spot we were not too looking for. We did qualify third, which is really good. We were just like hoping for outside pole so we could maybe get a good restart, but I ended up finishing second.
Now, Aiden Ziedrich just came on here, and he says he wants me to ask you about the drift move you and him did last year.
Yeah, so Aiden came to my home track, one of my home tracks, New River, and me and him raced a lot, and I had a really free car, and me and him just like raced a lot for that race. So we had a really good time.
You and him had a drift race or drifting around each other?
Something like that, yes, sir.
So who's the better race car driver, you or Aiden? Go ahead and answer it because, don't hold back.
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I'd probably have to say Aiden a little bit because he's won a lot of races at Wake County Speedway.
Man, I was hoping you'd say you were so we could get him to come out. Maybe he might try to, wreck you or something like that if he ever got around you like that. That would be something. So, but you beat him. I mean, you've been on the racetrack and beat him, so you're good with that.
Yes, sir.
Well, good. I'm glad you did that. So who are some of your racing competitions that you really, enjoy racing with?
Probably my friend Phoenix Kimball. She was really good in bandos, and I had a fun time racing with her. Probably another one is Jay Hemingway. We raced a lot against each other, and we had a lot of side-by-side racing together.
Why does everybody like Phoenix Kimball? Tell me what the deal is with Phoenix Kimball.
So I was actually, one of the first teams I was on was Dylan Spain's team, and she was on that team, and she helped me so much at tracks, and she's been a really good friend to me and just helped me so much through my racing career, been very supportive and all that.
So if you and Phoenix were racing and you come down to the last lap and it's between you and Phoenix, would you dump her for the win?
Probably not.
Man, you ain't no fun. You ain't no fun. I'm trying to start something. See, I know the Kimballs really well, so I was trying to start something. But I guess that you dump Aiden. That's all I need to know. You said it right there. That's all I need to know. That's what you just said. When you started, Aiden, he might get where he might have to dump you sometime. You never can tell. You know how he is.
Yes, sir. You just really want to race the people that you race against how you would want to be raced if you were racing them. So if you dump them, they probably want to dump you next time.
So does he race good? I mean, is he a good racer with you? I mean, does he give you room or?
Oh, yes, sir. A really clean driver. I have no doubt in my mind that if we got to a point where we had to race for the win, that we would both race each other really clean.
And y'all ain't no fun. I'm gonna start some trouble. I'm gonna try to start some trouble. Look, Tanya McAllister said hi, Delaney Gray. How you doing? So, what all does Tanya do to help you out?
She's done so much for me. I can never thank her enough. She's done all my marketing, been really supportive of me, and there's no way that I could ever thank her enough.
I mean, she's got a lot that she's involved with, and I think it's good that you got somebody like that in your corner.
Yes, sir.
All right, she wants to know, what is your most memorable racing moment this year?
Ooh.
And she says she knows the answer already, so I don't know. We don't.
I'd have to say probably when I won at Southern National a couple weekends ago. I've been trying so hard to win there so many times throughout all my racing career. I've raced there so much. I finally got to win there. And it was really important to me because my dad had won there, and it was just I had been trying so hard all year to win there, and I finally got to do it.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that would be something you and your dad could share from now on, that you both won at the same racetrack. That's pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
I see the race car behind you back there. Do you have to go out and work on the car too to keep it in shape and everything for you to race?
So that car is an Allison Legacy car. We're actually rebuilding it. So whenever they come out here to work on it, I try my hardest to come out here and work on it, just because I feel like I should do my part as their driver to help get the car ready to go to the racetrack. So whenever I can be out here to help, I try and do that.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's a good thing. You're driving. You need to go out there and learn what it's all about. So Dad's got a good idea right there to keep you involved in it. Now, do you have to keep your grades up while you're racing to be able to race?
I do, yes, sir. And I am homeschooled, so.
Oh, you're homeschooled.
A little bit easier, but I still do need to try and do my hardest at grades to keep up.
Wow, no, that's pretty cool. Be homeschooled. Yeah. I probably wouldn't fail if I was homeschooled, because I'd be willing to put some money down to keep me from failing. So, do you have any sponsors that help you with your race car?
Yes, sir, I do. Everybody that's helped me enough. Mainly, I try and say this every time I give a speech. I really like to thank the good Lord, because if it was not for him, I would truly not be where I am now. Carolina Family Pool and Patio, NPM Marketing, WG Speaks, Bob's Muffler Shop, Carolina Mobile Refrigeration, and everybody that's helped me so far. My mom, my dad, my crew chief Blaze, my uncle Matt, my cousin Zach, and everybody else that's helped me.
Who is your crew chief?
Blaze Brinkley.
Okay, all right, I know him. Okay, cool. All right. So, what are your plans for next year? Tell us what all you got going on, other than, are you going to be racing around other tracks, or are you going to be trying to look at a championship somewhere, or what?
So we do plan on doing mainly open stuff for the Bandolero next year, like Charlotte, Atlanta, mainly the big national events like the Summer Shootout, the Thursday Thunder, Winter Nationals, and all that. And then we do plan on trying to finish up this Allison Legacy car and try and go test it and practice it. And maybe if we can get good enough, maybe run a race or two. And then we do plan on testing the Legend towards the end of the year.
Wow, you got a lot on your plate there. I think it's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
Well, Delaney, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for being with us tonight and being a part of the show. And you got a good person in Tanya McAllister to help you out. She's great at what she does. So you go out there and win some more races, and we'll have you back on again next year to see how things are going.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They won a whole bunch of races this year.
She said 20. I said, what?
More than that.
Just this year.
I mean, she must be running everywhere to get 20.
Yeah.
But I've heard so many stories about the race down in Charlotte, summer shootout stuff. I've not been down there. I want to go to that summer shootout one time to see it. And I want to see it, but I'm going to tell you what, they say they got some good racing in the my Legends and the Bandoleros there.
They tear some stuff up. I've watched some races on there, and they tear some stuff up.
We try to watch them all the time when they come on.
And this, a couple years ago, Phoenix Kimball, talking about Phoenix earlier, she got turned over in her Bandolero there on the front straight of the
Oh,
Charlotte
crazy.
Motor. She got turned over, and she drove the rest of the race with her hand. Her hand was pulling her gas pedal back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
Talented.
That girl has no give up in her, man.
She didn't give it up. She kept on going, but she told me she said she hates Charlotte.
Well, yeah.
She ended
That'll
up,
do it.
ended up on her top. She hates Charlotte. So when you were running Legends and Bandoleros or whatever you were racing, how'd you like doing that? Well, tell us about your time in the Legends and the Bandoleros or whatever.
Well, when I was running bandos, we were there in the back. We could never find setups and stuff like that around Langley and stuff. So plus my weight killed me in bandos because you can't be but so heavy or you'll slow the car down basically, and that's what killed me in bandos. So we try to move out of it as soon as possible because we didn't want to keep running the back, wasting our time and stuff like that. So we want to try to hurry up and like get up and jump in the truck and stuff like that. So we didn't want to waste our time in bandos.
What was it like the first time you get out of like a bando and jump in another vehicle, a bigger vehicle, like your whatever.
Even to the trucks.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. You gotta, like in the trucks, you gotta learn how to shift and stuff like that, and it's definitely a lot different and stuff like so, and it sits so much higher, so it's totally different from the bandos, and, you know.
I mean, it's gotta be more fun in a way to get in a bigger vehicle and try to, especially if you don't know how to shift gears and stuff like that.
Yep.
So,
I taught them the hard way.
Yep. I was down at the bottom of the driveway by myself learning how to shift gears.
I would take them down the bottom of the driveway, put it in first gear. There's your first gear. See you later. I went to the house.
ooh.
And I had to learn myself. I got on pretty quick, but I was putting the tires too much. But I got that under control.
You got that under control now? You
Yeah.
don't spin the tires like that?
All I do is miss gears now
No,
Well,
you don't miss gears.
or shift too soon.
Yes.
shift too soon or you don't miss gears. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Do you know in your truck what the pedals in there are?
No.
You don't know?
Yeah, I do.
You do know? Well, when you get a chance, explain it to Scott. I tried to give Scott a lot of help because, he needs to know this because the one time he actually gets on the front row of a race, he forgets what pedal to push and everybody passes. So
I remember that. I was like, he's gonna have a really good start, and then I see him fall back. I'm like, yep, something happened.
oh yeah, you should have been up here. I mean, I was up here, and I don't like Scott to know I pull for him sometimes. I didn't want him to know.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up here and I'm like, man, look at this. He actually might have a shot to do something in this race. And when they took off and everybody went around him, I said, well, that's par for the course.
Jeez.
So, I mean, he's the only man to get driver of the week to finish fifth in a 4-car race.
Jeez.
Well, that's pretty wild. He could do that. I eventually had to ban him from being driver of the week.
Yep.
So, what do you like about racing here at Langley? What are some of the things you really like about racing here at Langley?
Really the fans and how good the track feels in the trucks and stuff like that. It hooks up so well, and it's of course an older surface, so you gotta you lose tires like once a race, so you gotta buy tires and stuff like that. So tires go away after race or two. So
and see, that's the thing when you're on asphalt, tires will go away quicker. But I mean, if you're a limited budget team, that's got to be hard that you have to go and if you're going to try to compete, you got to buy tires.
Yep. And that's,
I mean, I know from experience because I did it. And when I was at Southampton, when they went from dirt to asphalt, I mean, I was good on dirt. I didn't have to worry about stuff like that too much. I could handle that.
Yep.
We went to asphalt. I was, and don't you say a word, 'cause I see what's on your mind. But
Out of here.
But when we went there, I mean, to be even in the ballpark, that's not even saying you're going to win anything or do anything. You got to have new tires on the car every single week.
That's what
and then that's what happened. When we got in the truck in the last three races, when we didn't buy the tires, when we raced, we were down some rubber. So I think that's why we didn't have what we wanted to either, because we didn't have fresh tires like the other guys had, like Chris, Bill, Donald. We didn't have as much fresh tires as them. So I think that's why we fell back a little bit. But like I said, 2025, we'll go back, have enough money, and get tires every weekend and be up front. And
I mean, from your standpoint and your standpoint, what's it like with the tire situation where you get a certain amount of tires? You get one this week or two this week.
I like it like that.
You
I
know?
like it because it keeps
it
keeps
keeps
it kind
the
of fair
expense down.
for tires. I mean, for the tire wise. I mean, you might, if they did the 4 tires, you might have someone that can afford the 4 tires each week, and the other person can't, so you're down. So if you only get 1 tire, I think it keeps the field
Pretty even.
there's basically driving wise.
Yep.
Instead of basically.
Like from like a 2 to 1 tire night. So some people can't afford 2 tires a night, stuff like that. So I feel like the 1 tire is a better option because people can afford almost a 1 tire every time you race. So I think it's a better option for the 1 tire instead of 1, 2, or however it went. You know,
For somebody who don't know out there, and so I'll let you explain it to them. When you do 1 tire, explain how you go about where you put that 1 tire and where you move. I know you must move other tires around to
get your stack.
get your stagger right.
Yeah. So like for rear wheel drive cars, we try to put it on the left rear or the right rear because left rear or right rear is where you wear your tires at the most. See, like I wore the left rear out on my truck, so we would need a left rear tire and we would need a stagger for the new tire to fit that tire that just got pulled off the old tire. Well, the old tire that got pulled off, and find a new tire that's just like that so we can put back on the left rear. So it's like a mind playing game. You got to find the right stagger to fix your truck and stuff like that.
So how much time do you spend going through the tires that you have to get that stagger and move things around to set it like you want?
Sometimes it takes about 30 minutes to an hour to find all your stagger from your front tires to your rear tires, stuff like your right side to your left side. So it takes a while to find your stagger and where you want it and where you want your tire pressures at. So it takes a good amount of time to do all your stagger.
That's one of the things that when I was racing, when you were on dirt, the stagger was really big on dirt.
Never raced. I just turned the wheel.
I mean, but the stagger,
It
was a big deal to us in Southampton to have the right stagger. Then we went to the asphalt. Maybe this is where I had the wrong conception of what I was thinking about. But we get to the asphalt. People like Robbie Parker, you don't believe everything Robbie Parker tells you anyway. But anyway,
He's a smart man guy. He's a smart person. Well, any type of car.
well, the night you've been coming on the show, this your second time on the show, might be your last. Robbie Parker, he's got issues, really. I mean, I could see him going somewhere to get some help. I really do. I mean, come back and tell everybody he passed me 3 times on 1 lap. He's a lying ass. But no, I mean, that when those guys came from Langley and came to Southampton when we went to the asphalt, they put on a show for us. I mean, the 4 or 5 of us that remained in the class, and tried to run the asphalt, it was embarrassing. I mean, it really was embarrassing for us. But I mean, because them guys know all that, they knew all the interest. And here we are, we're all sitting there going, we didn't do that. We ain't never done that before.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Have you ever run any dirt anywhere?
I've wanted to, but
It's too much
Dad just
cleaning.
doesn't want to do the clean up on the car and
I did dirt
wash
race.
day and stuff like that. So
I started racing dirt.
that's why
14.
we haven't went to dirt. I would love to go to dirt and try and see what it feels like, but
I used to run slew.
I
Oh, yeah.
don't think I do too well because I'm not used to how the rear comes around and sliding in and stuff like that.
The
So,
only way you're gonna make any time is sliding that rear end around. So
yep.
Yeah.
So
You ever
I think I'll stick to asphalt for a while.
you know,
Like I said, I like dirt. I just don't clean up afterwards. Just at home with the asphalt truck, get a vacuum cleaner, suck the rubber out, you're done.
yeah. But dude, I had my place and I jacked my car up and I cleaned the dirt out from under it. Of course, I was lucky enough that my son, who was probably 9 or 10 at the time, he thought he was doing something when he went out there with him and cleaned the dirt off my car. So I didn't have to worry about it too much. The only thing is I had to make sure I had it up on jack stands.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have it on jack stands, he'd be in there trying to drive it around the yard because he had it started up one day and I wasn't even.
Jeez.
All right, let's bring on the superstar Garrett Zacharias. I mean, you know, big man. Let's get him on here. How you doing, Garrett?
Hey guys, how are you? Long time no see.
I'm telling you, man, you've been a busy person.
Oh yeah, tons of racing this year. Tons of different series, tons of different cars. I mean, traveling all over the country pretty much this year. It's been a lot of fun.
So, what was it like to go out on the West Coast and run the cars out on the West Coast? You did the what was it, the ARCA or Cars Tour or ARCA series out there?
I did 3 ARCA shows out that way. I attempted to make the race at Phoenix with Rise Motorsports out in March. We missed it by 1 spot. I was locked in with a minute to go in time trials, and one guy bumped us out, which kind of was disappointing for my starting of the year. And then I went out to Irwindale Speedway in California in July and ran their doubleheader show they had there this year with the ARCA West as well. Had a very respectable 12th place finish the first show there. And the second night we were inside the top 10, just gaining laps and learning a lot and moving up to the field. And we actually had our rear end brake about halfway through the race, which kind of set us to a point there. And then that was my ARCA journey this year so far. And we're working on more stuff for next year.
So have you been getting any good help for getting things together for next year, or is there anything on the horizon that's good, or what? I mean, you don't have to tell us anything, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, we all know it takes a lot, sponsorship wise, help wise. I haven't really started much for next year yet, but I'm going to start working on that after the holidays here. I'd really like to run a few East races just because it's closer to home,
Right.
The West stuff was really fun. I have family out there and all, but it's a little too far from home, and, but still getting the exposure was pretty neat going out there and doing that. But I want to do more races back home if we can get the funding available with the right team as well. It takes a lot of research for sure to get the right equipment and the right opportunities, and we're just working our way up to get to a better seat here, hopefully by the next year.
So what all have you raced this year? I mean, you raced your car a bunch of times. What else have you done?
So this year was pretty hectic, Jack. I started out indoor racing in a TQ midget.
Yeah, I saw that.
Down in Atlantic City, New Jersey, on the boardwalk. That was in February. Then, like I said, I went out and ran ARCA at Phoenix in Arizona. Then our local schedule up here started around early May. We ran our asphalt super stock, our asphalt pro late model, and a select dirt car races as well with the modified. I got some experience in the dirt modified as well this year. And then what else did we do? I think that might have been it for this year, but definitely I think that I ran about 4 to 5 different cars throughout the year, which is very interesting, getting a lot of laps for sure.
But it's all seat time for you. I mean, that's a good thing for you to be able to get the seat time and do different types of racing. I mean, that's got to be good for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely neat getting in different opportunities and different race cars as well, getting to adapt to them quick and learn as well, lap after lap. The indoor stuff is actually pretty neat. The lap times are insane. We were like running like 8-second lap times indoors, and I think that actually helped my reaction time this year in a race car because the amount of I work, reaction time was insane, and that helped me a lot throughout the year. And then hopping in the big ARCA car was pretty neat as well. Again, those things are like driving an army tank. It's very, very heavy stock car. It's very, very abrasive going in the corners with those as well. Racing hard with the big heavy stock car stuff, and then my local stuff as well. All year round was definitely fun jumping in and out of our two cars throughout the year. I'm planning on doing more of that next year as well.
So are you gonna be going back to do the indoor racing again this year, or have you been?
I don't know. It's all gonna depends on if we have it ready or not. And I forgot to mention I was just down in North Carolina 2 weeks ago
I'm getting ready to ask you about that.
running a limited late model for Ross Dalton at Caraway Speedway, which is a very good experience as well. Ended up in the podium with that. Working on doing that more stuff next year as well. But the indoor stuff is kind of on and off. It depends on if I can find a seat or not.
Now look, you came down here to race in the race down here and driving Boo Boo Dalton's car. I love that name, Boo Boo Dalton. But anyway, you're driving his car. I mean, you look like you dodged about 20 wrecks out there in that race and then came in and finished third. I thought that was daggone good for your first time down there.
Yeah. So actually, me and Ross connected a couple years ago when I went down to Florence and ran the 400 weekend with our limited stuff with AK. And he called me a couple weeks ago and was like, "Hey, we ran pretty well together when you came down here, and I met you and we talked about it and everything and how you wanted to get down south more." And he gave me a call about a month ago and was like, "Hey, I got open seats available. If you want to come down and do more of it." And I agreed, and me and him worked out a pretty good deal, and we worked that out. And I came down and learned a lot the first day testing all day, which is very well. And then the next day we raced, and I dodged a few wrecks for sure, but definitely a big learning day for sure. Just getting laps in and just trying to stay with the South guys more, and try to hang with my stuff as well. And it worked out very well with the podium. Almost took the lead, but I got a little too excited there with about 3 to go, and it happens. But he was a great team to work with, great people as well, and we're going to work on with him for more stuff next year as well.
Yeah, he's got some good equipment too. So he wins a lot of races, and so he's a good driver. So you'd benefit from racing for him.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he helped me a lot. With just chatting, all weekend. Him telling me a lot of his information as well, and as what he does on his side. And I think it helped me a lot going down there for next time when I do. With just the seat time and how comfortable I was with him in the car, and just getting all the data into my head and getting it launched for next time.
Yeah, and look, I may have asked you this question before, but have you ever considered and coming to Charlotte and being in the Charlotte area, or being in this area down here to where you be around some of these guys and be able to maybe find a ride or whatever? Have you thought about that before? But I know your situation. I mean, it's not. I mean, I understand. With things you got going on otherwise. But I mean, have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I really do. I think I do every week. I always say that, the racing down there is insane, and the connections and the community is just great.
Right.
Me and Ross talked about there's 12 different racetracks you can go to within 2 hours. It's insane with the amount of experience and amount of racetracks you can see down there, and the people. Every time I've gone down there to race, the people that I've talked to are just amazing. The connections I've made, you guys, there's a few other drivers down there, a few Xfinity drivers I still talk to on a day-to-day basis that, just give me a lot of information. And I'd love to get down there. My situation is a little bit different now, with dad and all that. And,
Right.
Trying to do it kind of, not on my own, but, try to grow up a little bit more and figure it out more up here to get me to go down there. That's always my big goal, is to get down south and move down there and get more connections. But, I'm working on that now. I'd like to get our program up here rolling a little bit more and start to bring my late model down to your guys' area, hopefully by the end of next season.
That'd be cool to have you down here, come down here and race somewhere around here where we can come out there and be a part of your racing, because I tell you what, I would love to see him. I've been following you ever since you were in those bandos and stuff. So I mean, I'd love to see you come down this way and race.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing I would love to do. I got a few ideas in my head for next year with our late model program. We got that rolling. We picked that car up last year and just trying to get the kinks out of it right now. We gotta do some things to get ready for next year. But I'd like to really come down to North Wilkesboro for the Cars Tour race with the pro stuff.
Yeah.
I actually went to that race 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I came down and watched and hung out with Boo Boo and all that, and took a lot of information in. And hopefully, if I don't take my own car there next year, I'd like to take at least with somebody's, probably with Ross. If that would work out. I was gonna hint that with him last week. If we can get a deal together with the pro or even a late model stock race as well.
That would be good. I would love to see you come down here for that. Now your grandmother may not like you coming down here for that. That would,
I think she's starting to, she's been talking to me the past couple weeks. She goes, so for this last trip we did to North Carolina, she goes, "You're taking money out of my vacation fund." And she's starting to like it more. I'm getting older to the point where I want to travel more and race out more and get out as much as I can. Like you said, with opportunities that, every opportunity you get, could be one shot. You never know what it can do for you. And that's kind of what I'm doing. Just the hard part is funding. We all deal with that nowadays as short track racers is, getting the sponsorship even on local areas. It's very tough, nowadays with everything, but you can't stop. My mom and dad always told me that if you're going to stop, you might as well not do it. So, I'm going to keep pushing and keep taking these little opportunities day by day and, work with stuff and try to get to the, top 3 level of racing. My 5-year goal for me is if I can get approved for a truck race and do a few truck races, that'd be my life would be pretty set if I can do that.
I would like to see that too. I really would. I'll be pulling for you to get one of those races. I mean, that would be cool to have. But I really appreciate your grandmother sending me the link every week. She does about your racing and stuff. I mean, I sit down and watch your racing more than I do anything else. But I mean, it's really cool that she does that and keeps up with it. But you come down this way, it's going to be hard for her to be a part of that. So I know that'll be a tough deal if you ever did that.
Yeah. It is a tough deal. With these guys and then with my dad and everything, the situations that I've been through the past 2 to 3 years now.
Yeah.
It's very tough, but I'm taking it day by day. Like you said, opportunities are there, and I'm reaching for the stars, and that's what we're gonna keep doing. And I actually just sent, not to kind of say anything, but it was an opportunity that may happen. I sent an email. Andy Jankowiak posted a link today about they're looking for a driver for Daytona for next year for the ARCA race, and I may have sent an email to see if it works. So you got to take every opportunity.
Cool.
Got to take every opportunity as you can. So we'll see if we get an answer or not. That'd be pretty neat. As he's local with me as well. So we're just gonna keep.
That would be good for you to get into a situation like because they got the big ARCA test coming up soon, and in fact January is the ARCA test. That would be good for you to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty neat to bring up that. We actually went and did that. I think it was the 2023. I went down there to Daytona and tested with Patrick Emmerling. He's helped me a lot with a lot of the marketing side, and a lot of the contact side of finding the opportunities. And he gave me a huge shot to have me test one of his ARCA cars there last year and actually get in the seat and get approved for all that. So I'm grateful for that, and that's got me to a point where it's got me more of the ARCA opportunities. It's just the sponsorship that's really tough. So, I keep digging at that every day and, connect with as many people as I can, like this as well with the shows and everything. And, try to get out there little by little and see where it takes us.
Well, we're here for you anytime, buddy. Anytime you need something, all you got to do is call. I'll do the best I can. But, man, I tell you what, I've enjoyed watching you come along, and I hope to see you out there in a truck or something soon, real soon.
Yeah, that's the plan. So we're just gonna, like I said, I set my goal in about 4 or 5 years. If I can make that happen, I'll be very, very happy with that. So we're just gonna keep pushing and keep talking to everybody and keep racing as much as I can as well. And any car, if you're not racing, then it kind of hurts. It kind of gets it's like practice. You got to keep doing it. So any race car I can hop in, with a cost, I'll definitely be doing it. So NASCAR is a pretty good goal, and that's what we're going to be set on for the next few years.
That's good. Well, I'm glad to see it. If you get a chance to go down to Daytona for that test, you let me know. and I'm gonna try to get down there and watch it because I would love to come down for the test. And anyway, good luck to you, man. Are you doing any more racing this year, or are you done for the year so far?
I was gonna go down with Boo Boo here to Florence at the end of the month, but as of right now, you know, sponsorship wise, I kind of want to get my stuff together for next year for local. I got a lot of work to do on our stuff this year still, from getting wrecked and stuff. So we got a little bit of work to do over the winter with our local stuff that I want to get around and get everything arranged. So I think we're set for the year. You know, if anything does come up, you know, late in the area, you know, if someone contacts me, we'll definitely see if it happens. But as of right now, we're done for the year. You know, we ended up with a good season. It was kind of a difficult season this year, only having a couple wins, but you know, it was definitely some long weeks this year. You know, doing it with just me and one other guy. So you know, we're just gonna keep pushing and you know try to succeed at it and run as many race cars as we can.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, how's your dad doing and everything? Is he doing good and everything right now?
Yeah, he's actually doing very well. He actually his speech is coming back better and better each week. I was just with him a couple weeks ago, and his speech has definitely improved a lot. You know, I can tell a big difference now. He's comprehending a lot more. The only big problem he has right now is his one right side is still paralyzed at the moment. But he can talk now. You know, he realizes things, and you know, I show him all the race cars and what I've been doing and everything, and he definitely comprehends it all. So. You know, he's there in spirit. So, you know, definitely
That's
is tough.
cool.
It definitely is tough going to the racetrack, you know, like we've talked to a few times about it, you know, without him. But, you know, he's still here and I'm gonna do the things that he wanted me to do. So, you know, that's basically why my drive to make it to NASCAR is for him really. So that's all he wanted me to do. So that's what we're gonna keep digging on and, you know, keep racing as much as we can and have the people behind us, you know, and appreciate it every day.
Well, you got it going on, man. I'll tell you what, you got a good situation, and if you need anything from us, please let us know. We'll see what we can do to help you out. But I tell you what, I'm excited to see you move along for next year.
Yeah. So I'll keep you guys informed as always. You know, Granny, she'll tag you and everything as well. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We'll keep you informed and hopefully do some more national stuff here next year.
All right, man. Well, we'll get you back on again soon and see how things are going. And please keep in touch and let me know what's going on.
Yeah, yes, sir. We'll do. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it again. We'll talk with you guys very shortly.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
Cool guy. You know, I've been following him ever since he was in a bando, and he's went out to race those bandos, and he was winning every week. I mean, that was at the play, I think, the speed drum in Chamon, the Chamon speed drum. He won every week, and he moved up, started winning in a super stock car. They call it there. They call it a super stock, and he was winning those races. And he's a hell of a talent, and I think one day I'm hoping he'll get somewhere because he's you know, he had a problem. His dad had a stroke and whatever, and he's had a lot to deal with, and it kind of set his racing back some. But he's moving along good. So you know, proud of the kid, proud of it. And this show has brought me to meet some of these younger kids, Aiden Zedrich, Garrett Zacharias, the Finch boy who was supposed to be here tonight hadn't called in or anything, but Jake Finch. And I was lucky enough to be around these kids some, and it's nice to be involved with it. So see how it goes. Even though this will be the last time you'll be on the show, but that's okay. You know, if you think such, you might need to go with him when he goes to get his help. Anyway. All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. We appreciate everybody for being here. Wesley, thank you for coming out. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were from New Kent. But anyway, we appreciate you.
He was happy. He said, "Yep, we're going."
So I appreciate you coming down, and I know it's a little bit of a trip for you, but we appreciate that.
We do it every day.
Appreciate Garrett Zacharias, DELANEY Gray for being with us tonight. Next week, Aiden Zedrich is going to be on here with us. He's going to talk about his big award he got this past week. Chuck Hall is going to be with us next week. Brandy Marshall is going to be with us next week. And I got another person who may come on who wrote a book, Holly Kane. She has been an announcer, not announcer, but a pit road reporter or whatever in racing before. She has wrote a book called The NASCAR Mavericks. And Doug Rice from PRN sent me a message the other day and said, look, you need to get her on your show. I recommend her highly. So we're trying to get that straight. She may be with us next week. So we're going to have a pretty good show next week, too. So anyway, please like, share our show, and let everybody know what's going on. And we'll see you again next Tuesday night, live from Langley Speedway.